I think what Maggie Thatcher was trying to say is she wants our money back. She wants our money back. Good old Maggie Thatcher, known as the Iron Lady, the only person I ever voted for and I believed in. Mark her words, it all came true. It all came true. And that's all I can say. I believed in her. Maggie Thatcher. A long time ago, she pointed out the EU was taking our money and we were trapped. And she points out that we are not a wealthy country, but we are a wealthy country compared to the other Europeans. And we've been covering for them, covering their back, and taking most of the weight on our shoulders, the burden. We have suffered and paid the most. We were a different island to the Europeans. We never got no breaks. In fact, they had us trapped into their laws that said we had to abide by, like we were being dictated to. Oh, but UK was a country? Well, not considering what they're saying. They said, we own you, UK, GB, Great Britain. We own you. You will do as we say. Oh yeah? Well, you know, good old Maggie, good old Winston Churchill would say, never, never, never give in to dictators. They tried to change our laws. There was laws that we had to ask them for permission to do. They were telling us to change our flag, change our uniforms to our military. Excuse me? We have our own country? Change our flag? Change our anthem? Tell us what our military's going to do and what to wear? Our fathers before us, mothers and fathers, who participated in the World War, especially World War II, they fought for your right to be free and turn around and trap us, the ones that came to help, the one country that came to help and also lost many thousands and thousands of millions of people that died fighting for freedom. Yet we were stuck in the EU, which was called the Common Market back in my day, as I know it. They just modernized it, changed the name to EU, and they trapped us, and we let down a few countries, and they probably, you know, never forgave us for that. And hopefully we can go on now and help each other out. But we let them down. We abandoned them. Not because we probably didn't think that was going to happen, but we couldn't do the trading with them no more. There was restrictions put on the UK. It's like another law we had to follow. Where you liberate countries, you liberate them, and then you turn around and try to trap us. Us meaning Great Britain, mainly Wales and England, because Scotland doesn't seem to worry about that. Doesn't seem to worry about what's gone on in the past. The generation today, the generation yesterday. I was at school when they entered the common market. There's nothing to do with us. And we didn't, and our fathers and mothers didn't understand what they were doing long term. They didn't ride it out. They didn't ride it out. They were starving. Well, not starving, but no gas, petrol. There was lots of things that they were going down. They were in a depression. Well, I didn't feel like I was in a depression state of what was going on. Well, I did kind of live in the country, but that doesn't make any difference. I didn't feel any different that things were going on, but then I said I was young then, and I was still at school, in high school. But the outcome of it, the people were lied to. They were lied to. And this is what we cannot get over. It helped for a little while. It helped bring us out of this depression they had, the gas and business. But the thing is, we should have rode it out. We should have just stepped back a moment. We had lots of farmlands. We had lots of food. But we were running out of petrol and fuel. We could have got helped out by the United States of America. We probably could have got a lot of deals from other countries if we would have just held back. Never give up. There is always hope. We should have just bowed down to them for a moment and borrowed some money or done something, and we would never have got ourselves into this situation that went on for a long time, 40 some years. Not the wanting of trying to get out of it, but you got to understand the generation that voted and they see and lived on the consequences of their actions. And then the new generation comes, like my age, the people that's in their 40s and 50s and 60s are seeing the devastation and the truth of it all. Now the younger generation, all they think about right now is Europe. We can't travel to Europe. It's not about traveling to Europe. It's not about that at all. It's about our rights to be free and make our own laws, make our own mistakes, and do our own businesses. You can still travel to Europe, and they too can still travel to Great Britain. But we're going to have our own laws. We're going to have our borders back. We're going to have our ocean back, our island, our fishing rights. That many fishermen went out of business. Fishermen that can't fish in their own waters. Our isles, our land, our oceans, our borders. We have to move over for Europeans to fish in our own waters. And we can't do a damn thing. Now, the biggest thing that the market wants, the EU, is fishing rights. Now they're bent on holding on to that. Why? You don't have any fish anywhere else in the ocean? We all got a country. We all got fish in the ocean. Why do you have to come over to us to fish? Why? I remember we used to eat fish all the time. Fish. Fresh fish all the time when I was a kid. Fresh vegetables, homegrown vegetables. I don't even think I knew what it was like to buy anything out of the store, like apples, pears, tomatoes, cucumber, lettuce, cabbage, potatoes, broad beans, anything that you can grow in a garden, a vegetable garden, that is. Everybody used to, we didn't worry about buying any shit like that across the ocean. And I don't know, well, we know what went wrong. Our country, we're still, the law in Scotland, they come into England and tell us what to do. Everybody tells us what to do. When they tell us about immigration, we welcome the UK, Great Britain welcomes immigrants, but by our own laws. You abide by the British laws, the United Kingdom laws. Abide by them, and you can come in the legal way. We just don't want any Tom, Dick, and Harry coming into your country, just like any other country. USA, you just can't walk into their country. You might sneak in there. There's immigration problems, yes, but you're not letting no other country tell you you've got to do this, and no checks. We don't know where they come from, who they are, what their purpose is, what their business is. It doesn't mean that we don't welcome people into the country. Now they say we're going to be friends. Well, of course we're going to be friends. It's not about abandoning Europe. Like countries like France, Belgium, Sweden, Germany, Denmark, Italy, Portugal, anybody that's in the EU. Now, a lot of people worry about their status. People that live in France, the borders of Spain, that belongs to Gibraltar, that belongs to England. People are scared now. Now immigration laws are coming out where they have less than 1 year to become a citizen. Now people are going to have to move back to the UK, or they're going to have to become citizens, give up their UK driving license and get a European driving license. But that's their choice. That is only so many people. That is not the whole United Kingdom. That is people that choose to live in another country. There's many people in America. There's many people in Australia. There's many people all over the world that choose not to live in their own country, either through jobs, immigration, or they married somebody from another country. All this and the other. You have to think of the big picture. The big picture is that Great Britain, most of it, wants out. We are out. We will be out, never going back. And that's all there is to it. Now, people don't like it because we're going to have our own laws. Well, we are a country, aren't we? We're not the richest country, but you're making it look like we are the richest country, and we're not. We're a very, very tiny island in the middle of an ocean, and we are one of the richest countries in the UE. The EU, I mean. The second, the most, is Germany. Now, Germany, what's going to happen? Because they're going to lose that money that Great Britain put in for the membership. They're going to lose that money. And now you countries have got to share the burden. Who's going to do it? Because there is a lot of little teeny weeny countries there that don't have a lot of money. And we've supported that. We've taken the brunt. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's fair? Our gas prices, our petrol prices in the UK are outrageous. They're one of the highest in the world. One of the highest in the world. Yet, being in the EU, they get their gas, their petrol cheap, and England have to pay the earth a lot of money. 3 or 4 or 5 times more. I should say we pay 70% of tax for our gas and petrol. They get it for like 20. How is that? How is that fair? There's a lot of things that ain't fair. You could go on and on and on. The list is that long. The future depends on the next generation. We cannot sustain. It goes up and up and up and up. We cannot sustain. People are kept down. They truly are. If you aren't somebody, you ain't nobody. They don't care about teeny weeny people like regular folk, you know, working class. They don't care about you. They never have. They're trying to take over. And one little bitty island, Brussels, you know, Brussels sprouts, they have their own laws and nobody can do a shit about it. Well, England's out, Scotland's out, Ireland's out, Wales is out. Now, Scotland thinks they're going to have another voting to vote to get out the UK, to get out of England, that is. Why don't you do it? Then the EU don't want you alone. They only want England. Mainly, England is the focus here. England. Scotland, you are nobody without England. When it comes to the EU, they already said they don't want you. You asked if you could stay in on your own, and they said that's a no. I mean, so you voted to get your independence from England, and it was a no. People voted. That would be something to do, wouldn't it? Now, you're with us when it suits you, and when it don't suit you, you don't want to be with us. We're either united or we're not. You can't segregate us all. I thought we were all neighbors. We were family. We were citizens. We were united in Great Britain. But we're not. That's very disappointing to me because I thought we were, no matter what. We understand you come from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. We understand that. You have your cultures. But nobody wants to give us our culture. They don't want to give us our culture. Languages were banned. We understand many years ago they tried to ban the Irish, the Welsh, your languages. That wasn't right, but that wasn't us. That just wasn't right. But we weren't allowed to speak another language neither. So we all suffered. But then we're united. There's many Scottish people that I know in England that lived in England. Why did they come to England to live? They married people. They got grandkids, great-grandchildren. Vice versa. England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland. I just can't understand why people aren't united. We have a vote. We have our own. When you vote, it seemed like that was the only fair choice. And when it's voted, it's done. You can't do nothing about it. You're not going to like it. No, you're not going to like it, but you're going to have to live with it and accept it. Accept it and go on until the next time. When families years ago used to be conservative or liberal, whatever they were in the neighborhood, whatever they were in your household, nobody could go against you. The whole family was one. You made the whole family one, whether they had a different view on politics or not. Now, this is what you got to teach your kids: is you can have another view. You can vote for somebody else. You can have your own beliefs. Who you believe should run the country, should it be labor, should it be, whatever it should be. You don't have to follow suit because your family were always labor or always this or that. You have a choice. Now the Scottish, their law is you can vote when you're 16 years old. But in England, you can't vote until you're 18 years old. So when everybody voted, these 16 to 18-year-olds in Scotland and Ireland, maybe, I'm not sure about Ireland, but I know it's Scotland. In England, nobody could vote until you're 18. Do you think that's fair? That's not really fair, is it? You got a young generation voting when they don't even know what they're voting for. They don't even know what they're voting for. They're not mature enough. That's why 18, sometimes 18 is not a good age, because a lot of these kids don't even know what they want. They don't even know what career they want. They can't even live up by themselves. And you want them to vote at 16? Now that's just my little gripe. I mean, it's just unthinkable. Now, we're out. It's done. You have to move forward. But look back on the history of people that said it was a mistake. It's been a mistake. It's been a mistake. And we tried and tried and tried. But they got blocked. This was a hard road. Years, 20-something years of campaigning to get the hell out, to get the people to vote. And people started listening. Because the generation grew up. My age, 40s to 60s, they grew up and realized, and even 20-year-olds probably realize, it's not all about travel. You're not going to live in these countries. When are you ever going to these countries? Most of you don't even have a passport, never been abroad. So what you complaining about? It's only the few, the percentage. You're not going to lose nothing. They're not going to stop you traveling. That would be a sin if they ever did that, wouldn't it? That would be a sin. The only thing is, you've just got to get documentation to travel. That's all. Are they going to stop you coming into their country? That wouldn't be a good idea. That wouldn't be staying friends, would it? That's not what it's about. If you don't want to be in a membership, you cancel it, right? You wouldn't like to be trapped into a membership that you don't use anymore. Just say a gym membership. Okay, it's not much money, but just times that by millions, and they won't let you cancel because it's a lifetime membership and there's no way out. Take me to court. Go on, take me to court. Everything you did and you got into a membership, anything, you can't get out of it. Take me to court. How would you feel? How would you feel? What about your car insurance? Once you're stuck with one, you're stuck for life, and there's no way out. And the prices keep going up and up and up, and other insurance is really cheap, and you can't get out. Take me to court. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing. How would you feel? Years and years of that, and the price is going up and up and up and up and up. Before you know it, your car insurance and things that you've been paying in membership for is more than your house bill. It's more than your house payment every month. It's more than your car payment every month. And your job, your wages don't go up. And then you're living beyond your means. And then you lose your home and your furniture and whatever's important to you. Then you're on the streets. It just goes on and on and on. We're out. Brexit. Independence Day is the 23rd of June. This year, they have 11 months to come up with a plan that will help every one of us, Europeans, Great Britain, France, Germany, Spain. They have 11 months to come up with a deal. And the deal is no deal. Because they have us trapped again. They want our borders. They want our fishing rights. That's all they want. The borders and the fishing rights. Well, then we're trapped. Let's take away their borders. We have no control over their borders. That's why they let all them immigrants in and let them walk their country to country. And they were trying to do that to Great Britain. And we said, hell no to the no. No. That's a big N-O. My God, why don't we just give them taxis over? Well, anyway, this is politics. People don't understand that, they can't understand what the hell is happening in United Kingdom. Well, they should look into it. Go back into time. Go back. Not only we've got the EU at our ass, we have the royals too. And, a lot of countries don't have that. We have to support them in all their castles and pay them tax. That's just like the olden days. Remember? Back in the olden days, they used to come around in your wooden hut and demand tax from you. And if you didn't have it, you were in big trouble. You were in big trouble. Many people were killed because they didn't have the tax money. Well, this is like going back to that time. People don't have the money. People are not bright. People are not the sharpest tool in the shed. We cannot all have brains. We got common sense, but a lot of people don't have big brains like these politics and these people with money and royalty and born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Most people are regular people, as we say. That's what we call regular people. The people that pop along, get up in the morning, go to work and come home, cook, clean, and scrimp and scrape and have not too much fun. And life goes on. Nobody has the art in communication anymore. I'm always on the computer, yes, but I'm older now, but I never used to do that when, I was younger. Nobody talks in person anymore. Nobody looks at your face. They're texting or they're talking on the phone. Nobody visits nobody. Nobody bothers to get up and walk to their home for a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever, borrow some sugar. Nobody does that anymore. Sometimes it's like, let's go back in time, please. Let's go back in time. People's going to realize this when they get older. That what a life it was. How better off we were in some respects. Not everything, but in some respects. nobody eats at the table anymore. Nobody sets the table anymore. You know, I mean, these little things. A lot of people like my age have lost their grandmothers. And they say, you know, the grandmothers kept the families together. But once your grandmother's gone, everything's gone. It's gone. If you have a tradition, you have a family tradition that you do when your grandma's gone, it'll be gone. If you don't do something about it, it'll be gone. It's already gone. It's already gone. A lot of people don't even know how to use a knife and fork properly. The simple things they don't even know how to do. People don't even know how to iron. I mean, there's a lot of things that people don't know how to do anymore. People, if you can believe it, people don't even know what a telephone box anymore. A telephone box, a telephone booth. People don't even know what they are. They don't know what they are. That's amazing, isn't it? They don't even know how to dial a number. You know, when you put your finger in and you go around, you know, put your finger in the 9 and dial, then put your finger in and dial. They don't know how to do that. And when we used to test at school, you used to have to do, you know, from your brain. And now people got computers. You just press in multiple choice. Press A, B, or C, or all of the above. Is that how you test? Oh my God, I wished I had that at school. I just wish to God I had that at school. I would have got A's all the way. Because I would have recognized out of multiple choice what the right answer was. And sometimes it's just a common sense. It's common sense. That's how kids test these days. Isn't that ridiculous? Well, anyway, guys, listen to Maggy Thatcher, the Iron Lady, because this lady she was the Iron Lady. She was another Churchill. She knew the future. She could see the future. She was trying to drive the public, her citizens, into understanding what they are doing to this country. And she says it. And she says it right.
May I make a few comments first? One of the difficulties here has been to get clear the nature of the problem. We are not asking for a penny piece of community money for Britain. What we are asking is for a very large amount of our own money back, over and above what we contribute to the community, which is covered by our receipts from the community. Broadly speaking, for every £2 we contribute, we get £1 back. That leaves us with a net contribution of £1,000 million next year to the community and rising in the future. It's that £1,000 million on which we started to negotiate because we want the greater part back. But it's not asking the community for money, it is asking the community to have our own money back. And I've frequently said to them, look, we, as one of the poorer members of the community, cannot go on filling the coffers of the community. We're giving you notice that we just can't afford it. So that's the nature of the problem. I must say the other very big net contributors are Germany, and many of the others are either broad balance or very substantial beneficiaries. It's we and Germany who are big net contributors, and next year we would be the biggest of the lot, although one of the 3 poorest members. Now, the second point here, starting from that we wanted £1,000 million of our own money back. We could have settled at this particular European Council had we been prepared just to take away £350 million, because that was what was offered, provided one was prepared to say that that was the end of the story. Now, you would never have expected me to settle for 1/3 of a loaf, And indeed, it would still have left Britain with much, much, much too big a net contribution. A contribution next year of the size of the German one, the same size as of the German one, and many, many, many times that of France. So, of course, I was not prepared to settle. Now, that left us in great difficulty for a time. And for a time, it looked as if we weren't going to get any further at all. I expect Mr. Lynch will have told you that the 350 million for which we could have settled is on the contribution side. It would put down our contributions to the budget. The other problem is that we don't get very much back. And it seemed as if the rest of the Council was not prepared to turn its mind to the receipts side and expenditure which should come to Britain. Now, I'm afraid we discussed quite long and hard, and it was very, very obvious that some of the nations were very anxious to help, very anxious to help. Yesterday, one of the countries suggested that we might have a second council on this subject between councils, and that suggestion was made by one or two other countries. We then discussed whether it really would be a genuine negotiation, because there's not much point in having a second council or an early council unless it's going to be a genuine negotiation. And still, the small countries were some of the small countries, and one of the larger ones was very, very anxious that we should not just break or precipitate a crisis at this council, but we should find a way of going ahead. Now, most of this morning was taken up by very detailed discussions on that part of the communiqué which you have before you. You will see that it sets out that the contribution side could be a basis for a solution, but it goes on for trying to find a solution on the receipts side, which would give us a very much larger proportion of what we want. The question of when another council is called, to be an advance edition of the council which should have taken place in March, will be left to the new president of the council, and he will decide. So if I were asked to sum up, we couldn't possibly accept £350 million in full and final settlement of our claim. So the position has gone into suspense pending another council. I must tell you that I'm not over-optimistic about the results of that council, but didn't want to precipitate a crisis in view of our friends in the council without genuinely trying to find a solution. So although not over-optimistic, although not having very much room for manoeuvre, indeed very little room for manoeuvre, we're going to try to have another council to see if we can find a genuine compromise. Now, shall I take questions now? Yes? Well, one moment. No, the person behind you. Dear. Yes.
If you have been unable to get the other 8 heads of government to accept the justice of your demand for blood balance here at Dublin, how do you think you can achieve this at the next European Council?
Well, that's just exactly the question which I myself posed in the statement. Is it going to be a genuine negotiation? It's quite clear that there are a number of countries in there who are prepared to help, and some mentioned some figures. Now, therefore, some are prepared to help and go further. And so we can only go to a next council, standing by some of those who are trying to help us, and see if we can get a solution. As I said, I'm not over-optimistic.